Sir?
Last name.
I'm sorry, are you Deshaun Thompson?
Just Deshaun.
Ms. Roberts?
Your Honor, my understanding that we do have a Deshaun Thompson on the list today. That we interviewed somebody named Deshaun Thompson, and I guess at this time, I heard the court ask this gentleman if he's Deshaun Thompson, and he's indicated just Deshaun. So I would need an opportunity to go in a breakout room with this gentleman to get further clarity, please.
Okay.
If you want me to, Ms. Roberts, you can send me the sheet. I'll go in the breakout room so you can continue the docket.
Perfect. Thank you.
And gentlemen, we're going to try this again. What's your name, sir?
Me?
Yes, sir. You, sir.
Deshaun.
Mr. Reagan?
Yes, sir.
Apparently, Mr. Thompson wants to get a very large bond and not get released.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video starts with what looks like a normal courtroom procedure, but within moments, things take a shocking turn. A simple identity check quickly becomes tense when the defendant refuses to give his full name and even claims he doesn't have a legal name recognized by the state. He pushes back against fingerprinting too, saying it violates his rights. What happens next completely changes the mood in the courtroom, and you won't want to miss it.
Just trying to figure out how could I be? I need the prosecution to bring forth. How could I be charged with not identifying myself with fingerprints? I didn't have a charge to even identify to begin with.
Yeah, Judge, so Mr. Thompson.
What's the purpose of me identifying the fingerprint?
Mr. Reagan?
Yes, I'm just saying, Mr. Thompson, Judge, does not want to give his full name. I know that we have a complaint here as Deshaun Thompson for refusal to fingerprint. He's refusing to fingerprint. That's why we are before this honorable court this morning.
Yes, that's against my constitutional right, though. I don't have to do that. I don't have to enter into a contract. I don't have a legal name. I don't have a legal name with the state. That's
Mr.
against
Reagan,
my constitutional right. All statutes are not law.
We've heard you enough, sir. We've heard you enough. Mr. Reagan, is it
Yes, sir.
your...
I've advised Mr. Thompson of his constitutional rights of the charges.
All right, the court realizes it can't let things stay stuck like this any longer. Even though the defendant refuses to cooperate, the magistrate decides to move forward and treats him as the listed individual. The charges are then clearly explained in detail. They include several traffic violations, missed court dates, and even the possibility of jail time. The judge stays calm while explaining the possible consequences, making it clear that refusing to identify himself won't stop the legal process from continuing.
I can just tell you, Judge, that the complaint I have is for Deshaun Thompson. And I have spoke with Deshaun. He is not, giving me his last name. I don't know if they have him in custody. All I can tell this court is that's where we are at this point, Your Honor. I can just tell you what we've done to this, where we are, and that's where we are, Your Honor.
All right, well, the court will proceed as if this is Mr. Thompson. It's unfortunate that he's taken the position that he's taken, but we'll do this anyway. So you've got some tickets, sir, where you missed some court dates. When you miss those dates, the judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. You've got several matters, traffic matters here, and they start with ticket P 1387200, charge of driver's license never acquired. P 1387498, open alcohol in a motor vehicle as a driver. And ticket 432813, no operator's license on person, no insurance misdemeanor, and unregistered motor vehicle. These are all misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrants, enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and give you a personal bond. Your next court date is a pretrial July 15 in front of Judge Garrett here in 36th District Court. Your other matter with us today is case 24044903, State of Michigan versus Deshaun.
Now, things start getting more serious. The prosecutor steps in and raises an important concern. They question why the defendant is refusing to give fingerprints or even confirm his legal name. It makes the situation look suspicious, as if he might be hiding something. The prosecutor argues that this kind of behavior is a red flag and could even be a risk to the community. Because of this, they ask the court to set a high cash bond and apply strict monitoring conditions. Their message is clear. This situation should not be taken lightly.
Thompson, counsel.
Thanks, Magistrate. Good afternoon, Steve Benson for the people, Peace 71917.
Judge, I just want to point out that, this is a charge of refusal fingerprint. There's no underlying charge. To talk about, so Judge Fulbright, on behalf of Thompson, we waive the formal rights as to this particular case, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond, beginning with Mr. Vincent, please.
Thanks, Magistrate. We're going to be asking for $10,000 in cash. We're also going to be asking for a tether as well as house arrest. The charge here is failure to provide fingerprints. So the defendant right there, allegedly, Judge, didn't want to have his identity confirmed one way or another. And now, interestingly enough, we have a defendant who's being charged with his failure to provide his identity in front of you right now, not even wanting to give Your Honor or the court his legal name, which gives the people pause, makes the people concerned that this defendant may be trying to hide something. Now, as a direct result of that, we feel as though this defendant is a danger and that he does pose a danger for obvious reasons. If somebody doesn't want to reveal who he actually is, either legally or through fingerprints. Now, with all of that being said, Judge, based on the court rule,
that's against my constitution.
When it looks like the courtroom might finally settle into a routine discussion, the defendant interrupts again, becoming even more defiant. He passionately argues that statutes aren't real laws and claims the legal system is trying to force him into actions he considers unlawful. His statements create a ripple of tension as the judge and everyone in the courtroom pause to process his bold claims. The defense attorney steps in, trying to calm things down. They remind the court that, legally speaking, the only issue at hand is the defendant's refusal to provide fingerprints.
That's a constitutional right. I don't have to give you guys fingerprints. Every statute is not a law. If it's contrary to the Constitution, it's not a law. I can act with impunity.
Again,
So
Judge, more behavior that's making the giving the people pause. Now, in addition, I think he is trying to act as though he's a lawyer, understand the idea that statutes are not laws. It's very scary, and it really is. It makes him a danger to the community. And respectfully, Judge, we're going to be asking for that cash with monitorization.
And Judge, no assault has been committed. I do understand that there's a procedure for everything. Judge, I leave it to the court. I'm not asking for any cash bond. I would ask for personal, Judge. I don't know how the court wishes to proceed in this matter. We obviously look to the court, Judge. It is what it is, Judge. We're here. And, like I said, no assault has been committed. There's not even a charge outside of this refusal of fingerprint, Judge. So we obviously ask that he be released, Judge. No charges pending. There's nothing even charged with it, Judge. So that is our position, Judge.
Apparently their officers were trying to investigate some.
There are no new charges being added, and the focus should remain on the procedural aspects of the case. Despite this, the back and forth between the prosecution and defense escalates. Each side pushes hard, one insisting on the seriousness of the defendant's non-compliance, the other trying to keep the discussion grounded in legal procedure. The atmosphere grows increasingly charged, and it's clear that this case is far from straightforward.
Assault case, which was why he was in DDC in the first place. And now we've got this refusal of fingerprint case, and we've got a performance before the court, which is, I think, quite telling. So here are the conditions of bond. You must be fingerprinted before release. There will be a GPS tether. You'll be on house arrest on that tether should you post bond. Court agrees with the people that without confirmation of this gentleman's identity, there could be other significant implications. For that reason, court will set bond $100,000 cash for surety.
$100,000 bond.
That's correct, sir.
That's crazy. So now you're doing things out of spite.
I give you a bond redetermination.
You don't want to stick to the law.
Sir, now is not the time to talk.
You're not honoring your oath to the Constitution?
All right. So we'll have a bond redetermination hearing in front of Judge McConico on Thursday, June 20th. The court being closed on Wednesday. Further date will be a pretrial on July 29 in front of Judge Bryant here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Thanks, Magistrate.
And now comes the moment that changes everything. The judge makes it clear that refusing to confirm one's identity carries serious legal consequences and cannot be ignored. Instead of granting a light bond, the court delivers a stunning decision. The bond is set at $100,000, along with mandatory fingerprinting and strict monitoring requirements. Even after the ruling, the defendant continues to protest, insisting he's defending his constitutional rights. But the hearing is over, and the judge's decision stands firm. If you found this breakdown interesting, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more courtroom moments and real case analysis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.